Welcome back to your Thursday morning on your Feel Good Breakfast show. This is Expresso on SABC3, and time right now to catch up on news that is affecting you directly. In fact, a plan to compel motorists to take practical tests and answer questions before renewing their driver's licenses is just one of the proposed plans in the new draft regulations for changes in the Road Traffic Act. Now, the regulations, which are currently up for public discussion, propose a number of changes to the Act, and joining us on the line this morning to give us a bit more detail is Ishmael Mnisi, the spokesperson for the Minister of Transport. Mr. Mnisi, thank you very much for taking our call.
Good morning, and thank you very much for having me, and good morning to all the listeners.
Fantastic. So talk to us through the strategy and the plan with regard to the renewal of licenses and what people will have to do in order to be able to renew their licenses according to these draft regulations.
Well, firstly, I think the background of these new regulations is the basis of the number of accidents that we have been having on our roads, and from our evaluations, we realize that the competencies of our drivers leave a lot to be admired. Hence, we're having this regulation. But directly answering your question,
yes,
what we are saying is that an applicant for a renewal of a driver's license card shall, before obtaining a new driver's license card, be evaluated by an examiner for driving. And the examiner for a driving license shall, by observation, inquiry, and practical test, satisfy himself or herself that the applicant holds a driver's license which authorizes him or her to drive the class of a motor vehicle which he or she has applied for, and that the person knows and understands the road traffic signs, and that on sound knowledge of the rules and of the road and different signals which the driver of a vehicle is required to know. And finally, that the driver will not be subjected to a written test, but it will only by observation and by answering the question that the examiner will be answering, that such a license will be issued to a driver.
Yeah. And so practically speaking, would this involve obviously you going to the department and then, like you said, just being asked a brief few questions that test whether you are competent enough to drive on South African roads?
Correct.
All right. And tell me...
Yeah.
Yeah, and as we carry on, because obviously there are a few points to talk about, the planned ban on heavy vehicles during peak hours on our roads. What is the plan with regards to that?
Well, the plan in terms of that is that we want to regulate heavy duty vehicles on our roads, especially that exceeds 9,000 kilograms, between 6 hours to 9 hours, and between 17 hours to 20 hours Monday to Friday, except over weekends and public holidays. And this also is as a result of the accidents that involve heavy-duty vehicles on our roads during the day or peak hours. So we've been having questions about where should such vehicles park. I think we have made submissions to the operators themselves that by proper planning of their trips and ensuring that they train their drivers and have one, two, or more drivers, we will be able to reduce the number of accidents that involve these heavy these heavy duty vehicles.
Indeed.
So we are confident that we will be able to reduce the number of accidents if ever we follow such. But of course, the exoneration is made for emergency vehicles so that they can be able to operate at any given point in time.
Of course, and at the end of the day, safety is the main priority. And just very quickly, where can the public go? Because they now need to start weighing in their opinions on this. Is there a specific website they can go to in order to divulge that? Where can they go?
Well, if the public wants to make an input, they can visit the Department of Transport website, and they will then be able to speak to Mr. John Motati, who will then be able to assist them. The number that they can call if they want to make telephonic inquiries is 012-309-3574 or 012-309-3684.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
They can call these numbers, or they can call and ask for their email address, which for Mr. Mutati.
I tell you what, we will take the details and we're going to put them up on our Facebook page because it's very important that we have our viewers have access to these details. So thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right now let's head on over to the morning headlines. In fact, we're going to take a look at what's happening on our roads right now, and Ewan has the latest traffic update.